He was my hero. I loved him. I looked up to him. He was my idol. Like, he made all the characters that I fell in love with. Spider-Man, he made him. And I grew up watching and reading all the comics. Not every single one, but most of them as a kid, and I still do now because that's what I'd like to do. And it was all thanks to him I feel who I am today, because he made all these stories, all these characters, and to me he was a hero. He was my idol. He was a great guy.
What was the impact that he left on you?
The impact that he left on me was he left a big impact on me in my life in total, because like I was saying, he basically made me who I am. Like, those stories, the true heroism in all the heroes, it showed, and it gets you to think, man, I could be like that. And you watch stuff like when he was making Spider-Man, he wanted any kid to relate to him at any issue, and yeah, I could relate to him. Not good with girls, could be shy sometimes, awkward in some situations. Yeah, I could relate to Spider-Man. And so yeah, he kind of impacted my life in a way that I could relate, and he made me love all the things I love today.
How has his passing affected you the most?
It hit me hard because, when you're young, you see him. I saw him in all the movies and all the cartoons, and I knew who it was. And every time you saw him, you were like, oh, it's Stanley. And then you'd hear the stories of him going to the hospital, but he'd always come back fine. So you're like, he's fine. And yesterday, I was watching Spider-Man 3. I downloaded it from Netflix because, I don't know, I was just in the mood. And I'm sitting there watching it, and someone taps me on the shoulder and goes, hey, Brandon, look at this. And it says Stanley died at 95. And I'm like, no, that's not true, man. There's always those jokes. So I turn on my cellular data, and I just get hit with all these notifications saying Stanley's dead. I see text saying Brandon, Stanley's dead, or all this stuff. And it hit me because it was like, yeah, he was 95. It was going to happen eventually, but it just happened out of nowhere. I felt all the other times he went to the hospital, so you thought, like, maybe in your head, like, yeah, he could die here. But this just came out of nowhere.
How, in your mind, has he affected the culture of the world today?
I feel like he honestly did a lot with people today. I feel back in the day, yeah, he did a lot too with his comics and writing, but especially now with the whole Marvel movies, I feel that so many people around the world watch these movies, and if it wasn't because of him, there wouldn't be these movies. So I feel he impacts a lot of people just on the movie basis, basically the characters. Because all these characters that everyone has a favorite character. There's no denying that, and they were all from his mind. So I feel he impacted life and helped in that way with other people's, just to give them a character to be like, oh, hey, I really like that character, even if they're fictional.
Last question. If Stanley was here right now with you, what would you say to him?
Could I be Spider-Man? I don't know. I really wouldn't know what to ask him, because feel like there's nothing to ask him. He answers all the questions. There's nothing that, I don't know. I don't think I'd ask him anything, because I never had anything to ask him. I think I would just like to talk to him, just to talk about comics, his characters, but there wouldn't be anything for me to ask question-wise. I'd just like to sit down and talk to him. I'd like to meet. I wish I met him before his passing, because to me he was a great man, and he still is, even if he's not with us anymore.